Welcome back to our YouTube channel here at ArmorTech. I'm Zach Craig. Today we're going to show you how to install doors on this 2022 mid-size Polaris Ranger. Before we get started, let's have a look at the tool list. We'll go ahead and remove our safety netting. First, we'll remove our seatbelt clip using a T30 Torx bit. We'll pull both of these. And later on, we'll utilize this for mounting our striker plate. And we'll go ahead and we'll reuse these mounting bolts. We've got one more bolt in the floor. Now we'll lift up our seat. We've got two more here we'll loosen. And now we'll take our 1/2-inch wrench and we'll loosen this upper bolt on this welded mounting tab here. And we're also going to utilize this tab later on for mounting our jamb plate. And it also has some straps that go around the bar. I've already taken those off, but you'll need to loosen those as well. They're just a tensioning buckle that you can take those apart. First, we'll locate our jamb inside of our box and get it out. Also, bag 29, we'll have our hinges that will mount to the jamb prior to putting it on the unit, and we'll go ahead and do that now. The hinge half for this side will have the female barrel towards the bottom section of the jamb, and in bag 16, you'll find some of our 1/4 by 5/8 Phillips machine screws, as well as our 1/4-inch nut with a lock washer and a flat washer to back it up. And we'll go ahead and start these. We'll flip this over and find center slot, and we'll just go ahead and preset the hinge to where it should need to locate just for a start. And we'll take our impact and just kind of lightly snug these up. Now we'll mount our jamb onto the unit. We'll look in bag 16 and find our number 8 button head screws along with our 5/16 washer, and you can utilize the mounting tab that comes factory with the unit. And if you've lost that, we also provide a mounting tab which will be bracket D in bag 69, and that will take that place if you've lost that or misplaced it. And so we'll stick the jamb up onto the machine, high and center. We'll slide this mounting tab back behind the welded tab on the unit, and we'll go ahead and get both of these screws started. And we'll pull that jamb back into the bar and go ahead and just lightly snug these with our 5mm Allen wrench. Now we'll locate bracket A out of bag 69, and this is what we call our upper J bracket. It will actually loop onto the upper frame here. And also in bag 69, we've got some 1/4 by 1 inch Phillips machine screws, and that will go through the hole of our jamb. And we'll back this with a flat washer, lock washer, and a nut. And this will also be all of our hardware for mounting this jamb will be out of bag 69. Now we'll locate bracket B per our instructions out of bag 69, and much like our bracket A here, bracket B will loop around the vertical post of the ROP system. We'll utilize the 2 holes you can see here. Again, another 1/4 by 1 inch screw, and we'll back it with a flat washer, a lock washer, and a nut. Now that we've got all of our brackets mounted and our jamb onto the unit, we can now tighten all of our mounting bolts up. We'll start with our number 8 button heads with our 5mm Allen wrench. And then we'll swap over to our impact gun with our P3 bit, Phillips bit, and a 7/16 wrench. And we'll tighten up bracket A. And now we'll tighten up bracket B. Now we'll locate bracket C out of bag number 69. And this is our striker plate bracket that our striker bolt will mount to. And as I mentioned earlier, when we removed our seatbelt clip, we'll utilize the factory bolts that come with that, and just take these out, and we'll have our double slots here and our single with the stem pointed inward. So we've got these started, and this has vertical adjustment in these slots, so keep that in mind for later adjustments of proper fit on the door. We're going to set these to center and just do a light snug. Now we'll locate our striker bolt. It should be in bag 16 inside your box. We'll go ahead and take the nut off and single washer. And on the plate we've got horizontal adjustment. This will move back and forth. And again, we'll find our best guess at center. We'll take our 11/16 wrench, a 3/4 wrench, and we'll snug this lightly at center. Now we'll utilize the other half of our hinge that should have came out of bag 29 earlier when we did the jamb, and this will be the male end of the hinge, and it will go onto the door of these slotted holes. The male prong will face downwards. And out of bag 29, we'll utilize one of our 1/4 by 5/8 Phillips machine screw. And just like the jamb, we will back this with a flat and lock washer and a nut. So on the door, this hinge has horizontal slots that run this way, and that's for later adjustment to ensure that we have proper fitment. And we'll now put the hinge down here on the lower, and then we can mount the door. Now we've got all of our nuts, bolts started, our hinges on. We're going to move this. You can look at the back of the door, and we're going to move this center and just go ahead and lightly snug it with our impact here. And try to make sure our pins are straight, parallel with the edge of the door. This will help us when we go to slide it on. Now we can go ahead and mount the door. We'll grab the outside of the door. We'll come out 90 degrees to the bike, and I often put my thumb on this lower pin here to where I can watch the upper pin. And then we'll slide the male prongs into the female barrel and slide it down. Now we'll locate our handle out of bag 10, and in bag 16 we'll have our 6mm by 35mm screw, and as well as our 6mm jamb nut. This screw will thread into the extension of our push button, and by screwing this screw in or out we'll set the depth on how we strike the paw of the latch. On this particular door is about 4 or 5 threads, and we'll run our jamb nut down, take our 10mm wrench and just give that a firm snug. Also in bag 10 is our door handle gasket that comes with, and this will just tear apart on our centerpiece, and the wide part will mate to the front part of the handle, and the small end likewise to the small end of the handle. And now we'll stick our handle through on the outside. Now in bag 16 you'll have some more number 6mm screws, and we'll use our 25mm length with our 1/4 inch flat washer, and we'll get our bolt started here through the body of the door. And now we'll snug these up with our 10mm wrench. Now that we've got our door mounted, it's time to make our final adjustments. First thing I like to check is our body lines. How tight is the door sealing on our ROP system, as well as the body lines of our jamb and the continuation of the door here. It looks like we're a little high on our door, so we'll loosen here on the jamb and bring the overall door down, and it looks like we're pinching a little hard here on the top. So we'll lower this door and get our body lines matched up. Also, I'm looking at the gap between the jamb and the door, and it looks like we're a little wide at the top and a little narrow at the bottom, so we'll loosen this up and kind of rock this door back just to kind of make our overall outside fit and look nice. So, and we'll just pop these loose, let that door settle down. And there we go, got a good drop there. Could use just a tad more. Now our seams and our perimeter is looking real nice. Our gap and our jamb is pretty even. Then we'll jump inside the bike and we'll make our last final adjustment on the strap. Now we'll bring our door in slowly and we'll watch our 2 closing pins on our latch. And they look like they're closing pretty even. That's one thing we're checking for, so we know our height is good. If you guys need to adjust that, remember our 2 factory bolts and this whole plate will adjust up and down. So we look good there. Another thing that we're looking for is that where on the bolt are we latching? Is this latch sitting too close and hitting the edge of the washer? If so, you can remove washers and put them on the back or shim this forward. And then we're looking at our seal once we close. Our latches have a double catch. There's the single and there's the double. Now we're looking inside our seal all the way around the door and making sure that we're sealing good. If we need to seal more, we can bring this striker bolt inwards, or if it's binding up and not catching, we can move it back out. This one looks pretty safe. Your ArmorTech doors are now installed and you can enjoy it on your next ride.